Certified Passivhaus Designer course that we're running, the student edition for this summer. Let's get started. So just a bit of background, this is going to be led by us at Coaction. My name's Sally Godber. I'm a mechanical engineer and I'm also a Passive House certifier, and I am the technical lead for Coaction. And also do quite a lot of the training activity. So during this session, please keep your microphone muted. It is going to be recorded, and please post any questions that you have in the chat and then we can answer them at the end. So to start with, just to take a step back as to why we're doing this in the first place, there are some fundamental problems that we have in the construction industry, and this is a classic photograph which identifies major issues in terms of the design and the install of products which are ultimately there to try and improve building performance, but it's not working. And the whole course that we've devised is aimed at trying to reduce this gap of buildings not performing, the performance gap, and ensuring that whenever we're putting materials into a building to improve them, that we actually end up with a delivered energy performance. So it's both about understanding energy and also very much about the practical aspects of designing to really mitigate issues with everything that we put in. So in terms of, just to give you a quick background about Coaction, we were set up in 2009. We're a not-for-profit organisation. The whole intention of setting this up was all about disseminating knowledge and kind of getting it out there. We've got a range of training that we offered, and it's really focused on low energy buildings. And predominantly we're talking about low energy in use, but there's a huge amount of interest and cross-pollination into upfront energy consumption as well. So that also is kind of covered throughout the suite of courses that we've got here. And the bedrock of all of this is our trainers. And we have 25 trainers from across the UK, all specialists in low energy construction. So you'll be learning the material that we provided is kind of grounded in that first-hand industry experience. All the courses are endorsed by the Passive House Trust, and they're all experts that have really done it. So they're, as well as giving you the learning, they also will come and give you a huge amount of support in terms of how it's practically applied and really making sure that it really works in practice. So the course itself, just give me a second, I just need to rearrange my screen a bit. There we go, that's better. So the course itself is run over 3 weeks, and this is a special student version because it's going to be much more compacted than a normal course that we run, and it is very, very heavily discounted. And the whole intention of all of this is giving you the understanding of both, on the one hand, of getting you the information that allows you to prepare you for the Passive House Designer exam. And then secondly, alongside that, is also giving you the information that allows you to use this information and practice and embed it into your understanding going forward. So what's included in it? So there's a whole load of live teaching from our expert trainers, and additional tutorials, recordings and things like that. Support from those trainers and also through other peers here. Ongoing access to the training material for a further 2 years. It's also worth saying that all of the live sessions will be recorded. So if you either have to catch up or you want to go through and watch it again, that's all possible for you. We'll be giving you a load of material to give you the best chance of passing the open book exam. So a load of crib sheets and various bits of information that will support you in that exam itself. A lot of this also will be building on your understanding that you have throughout your training. So there's a lot here where there's kind of real repetition and bits of the course which will really build on what you've got and kind of consolidate it. There also, as part of this, we will give you a free student license of PHPP, which is the energy modeling software. And this is really essential in terms of us understanding building performance, is having these tools at our fingertips that allow us to optimize. So this kind of amazing design tool that lets us know what makes a real difference to building performance. And included in that is all of the exam fees and enrolment into that and the support around the outside. And then lastly, access to our alumni group on LinkedIn, which is incredibly helpful as a resource to in terms of really going for applying this information either to projects that you're doing within university or within your life outside of that. And this is very much, as I've said, is kind of really it's founded in really solid understanding about not just the theoretical stuff to do with building physics, but also very much it's much more about the practical application. So it's an understanding. There's loads of examples here of really what happens on site, of the kind of things that we need to be thinking about, and how we ensure that this stuff happens not just on paper, but in real life. So you can come away with some really solid experience and idea about what this stuff really looks like. Now, the course itself comes in 3 parts, and the first part, the bite size, which is the foundation module, this is something that you need to complete prior to coming on to the Passive House Designer course. For those of you that are on a REBA accredited course, you have this free to access. This is called the Design Performance for Climate Action. If you don't have it, that's not a problem, then you can get in touch with us. And then after that, we have the designer course, which we have the sessions outlined here. And then we have some support, which will take you through the revision and then through to the final exam. So let's have a look at this in a bit more detail. So what we're expecting you to do prior to starting on the course is that design performance for climate action, the bite-sized course. And then we have a short building physics intro. And this is basically just to give you a really good grounding so that you've got the concepts ahead of time for when we start to apply them to the real buildings. Then we go on the first week, we're going to be looking at the building fabric. The sessions are broken down into 3 2-hour chunks. So throughout the day, they'll be from starting at 9 and finishing at 5 with breaks in between. They're recorded, as I said, you can watch them again. There's going to be some homework and some opportunities for you to have a go at some of the questions as we go along this. On Friday, we've got tutorials, so then you can ask any questions you have and any additional support you need. This is the place to go. In addition to that, there's also, alongside this, there is a forum where you can ask questions alongside all of this, so you don't have to wait to Friday, but Friday's the place where you get that real kind of live engagement with the trainers. Then the second week, we go on to look at building services and PHPP. And again, we have a second tutorial, this time on the Thursday. And again, a kind of drop-in opportunity for those that need it and those that don't. And then the last week is where we'll be looking at the final subject, which is the economics and also the revision. So kind of getting you really well set up to do well in the exam. And then the last tutorial, and then we go on to doing the exams and the setup around that. So the exam itself, we have the date is going to be Tuesday, the 24th of June. If there's any issues with that, then please come and talk to us because there is potential for us to, we can think about moving that around if it's problematic. What we need from you and what we're expecting you to do to deliver that exam is, first of all, you need to give us some photo ID. You need a calculator, which isn't a phone. You're going to need a phone and a computer on, which is plugged in and fully charged. And you're also going to need some bits and pieces in terms of the course material that we're going to be giving you throughout and you can add to in terms of your own personal notes and some username and password information, which we will also be giving to you prior to this. Um, The exam, was that the same? Oh, there we go. So it's 3 hours long, the exam. It runs from 9 a.m. to 1 for the first group, and then I think it's the afternoon for the second group. It's an open book. So we're anything that you have printed, you can access. The pass mark is 50%, and this is really important, is that there's a huge range of subjects that are covered throughout this exam, and the exam itself and the course is designed for everyone that is involved in design work, okay? So that means there's going to be specific subjects that you find easier and harder, and part of the work that we're going to be doing in the revision sessions is to lead you through so that you can make sure you make the right choices about which questions to ask for. In terms of the last two sessions, 2 years that we've run this with Bath, we've got incredibly high pass rates. I'm sure Ingrid will be able to tell us what they are. But this is something where we've done very well, and particularly university students have come out of this and been able to do superbly in terms of getting through the exam. Um, in terms of previous delegates and the kind of comments that they have and the reasons why they're interested in doing here, there's a few of the things which they have highlighted and said that they felt was particularly important. But we can talk more about that or the other bits now. We're going to go on to that's the topics that we wanted to cover for this. If there's anything else that anyone would like to comment on, then please either add it to the chat now or ask live. That's it.